Alright, welcome to another edition of Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. Today's coverage is going to be on Morning Racist Joe. That's right, Joe Scarborough, the parasite, on MSNBC. This man had the nerve to have Al Sharpton on his program to ask Papa Al his black questions. Of course, pertaining to the fallout of the Gayle King fiasco and the Oprah Winfrey fiasco. That's right, fiasco, because that's all this is about. Much ado of nothing. Much ado of nothing. Totally distracting from our legendary NBA star who we lost by the name of Kobe Bryant at the age of 41, and his daughter Gigi and 7 other passengers on a helicopter that crashed on January 26, 2020. But this fiasco has the spotlight on Gayle King and the fallout that she caused on CBS. An interview she did with Lisa Leslie, where Lisa Leslie was describing her pal, her friend, Kobe Bryant. And Gayle King took the opportunity to try to discredit and disrespect the legacy of Kobe Bryant. And there's others. Abigail Disney. She doesn't get a pass either. That slime bucket, she also came out swinging, trying to tell black people that Kobe, quote, wasn't a god. And it's funny that Abigail Disney would make such a statement because, you know, there's another European who made the same statement about our great Formula One driver, Lewis Hamilton. This guy said of Lewis Hamilton that he wasn't a god. And the fact that these two situations happen so close to each other, I start thinking about how white society always tells on itself. And when they say things like, we're not gods, what they're really saying is that we truly are. We just don't know it. Did you hear me, black man? Did you hear me, black woman? What I said was that they're constantly saying that we're not gods because they truly believe that in their subconscious, and consciously they're trying to say that we're not. You see, black man and black woman, you just don't know it. But we'll get to that sooner or later. You're going to realize this. But for now, let's get back to the Morning Racist Joe show. We're going to listen to part of this clip that I'm going to play so you can hear some of the things that I had to hear, and grab a bucket. You might want to vomit. So without further ado, family, before we continue, can you please give this video a like and a share? And if you haven't already subscribed, let's get to it.
Now, so you can call me soft or sellout, whatever you want to call me, but I'm going to stand up for Gayle King on this one. She doesn't deserve that.
You know, God bless you, Reverend Al, for, God bless you, Reverend Al, for, God bless you, Reverend Al, for, God bless you, Reverend Al.
Alright, so let's unpack this. First off, Al Sharpton. Why they called Al Sharpton on the Morning Racist Joe show, I'll never understand. Well, actually, no, we do know. We know because he's one of their bootlicks that they always use. But nonetheless, Al Sharpton starts off by telling us what we can call him. We can call him either soft or a sellout. Well, I choose to call him both. He's both soft and a sellout. And so why we're even listening to Al Sharpton is a whole nother question. But nonetheless, this racist Joe Scarborough starts off by saying, you know, God bless ya, Reverend, when all other times it's God damn ya, Reverend. And so it's awfully funny how he's changing the tune. And they always tend to do this, so you can never trust them in that manner. But nonetheless, let's continue with the racist Morning Joe show.
God bless you, Reverend Al, for defending a black female journalist who had her life threatened on Instagram and who was called extraordinarily foul things. Be a blackout about this. Why aren't the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal and all these people that rightly get offended when Donald Trump attacks a journalist, why are they remaining silent now? And
let's unpack this for a bit. I believe this Joe Scarborough has a lot of goddamn nerve to sit there and quiz Al Sharpton on a situation that happened between two black females. Scarborough here, this racist, very suspected racist, is sitting here trying to point his finger at a black male who had an opinion about the situation, when in fact this situation was between two black females, namely Lisa Leslie and namely Gayle King. Two black females. The fact that a black male, a foundational black male, who happens to be a rapper by the name of Snoop Dogg, because he has an opinion, this guy, this douchebag, Joe Scarborough, is acting like the sky has fallen. This is between two black females. Lisa Leslie checkmated Gayle King on the truth about the character of Kobe Bryant, who this story should be focused on anyways, the life and legacy and the passing of Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter Gigi and 7 other passengers. But you notice how lamestream media, including the morning show with Joe Scarborough, Joe racist Scarborough at that, they had no comment on Kobe Bryant. This is all about how Gayle King is feeling and whether her feelings are hurt or not. So I'm starting to wonder about the white males of our society who have nothing better to do than to try to divide and conquer our community even more than what they already are doing. This story is a glaring example of what white media does all the time. And that's why the new black media, like myself, are very important in society. It gives another perspective of how things truly are. We have absolutely nothing to lose, so there is no lying or fake news reporting. And so I hope that we address this issue partially, because the other part of it is Joe Scarborough thinking that Gayle King was threatened. She wasn't threatened. There's no credible threats. The law enforcement agencies would have made that known if that was so. So instead, the media, lamestream media, is trying to make something more of this situation because a black man had something to say about a black woman who happens to be a news reporter. And you too have the ability to get checked if you get out of line. And so the new black media is making it very clear what this situation is about. It's about the passing of our great legend, NBA star Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gigi, and 7 other passengers. Gayle King happens to be a footnote. Let me say that again. Gayle King happens to be a footnote who's trying to be in the spotlight. And it's disgusting. So You wouldn't even address the issue of the name she was called. Again, the arrogance of white media, of lamestream media. Black Americans, foundational black Americans, just had to witness a white news anchor refer to the LA Lakers as the N-word. And then she tried to justify it by saying she was trying to say another team. Why? There's no N in Lakers whatsoever, but she said the N-word and it came out clear. And all of white media, you tried to justify it. How disgusting. So we hear Joe Scarborough crying now because he doesn't believe that the media is speaking up enough. Well, we felt the same way against the racist reporters who constantly slip up. Joe Scarborough, you have no words for that, though. I know.
Of the talk is to first say what is unacceptable. We can talk all night long, but we can never rationalize threats and rationalize misogyny. Now the conversation.
And Al is about as shameful as lamestream media, where they put the onus on misogyny and threats. And we've covered the threats already, just briefly, and I'm going to go a little more into that, but let's talk about the misogyny. First of all, this is not about men against women. It's not men attacking women. This is about a black woman who checkmated another black woman. And white stream and lamestream media, they're trying to make this into something else. Again, the divide and conquer. They love to do this when it comes to black America. And as black Americans, we're saying reject it. We're rejecting those notions. And we're saying we've had enough. And we're fighting back. We're fighting back against you trying to separate us, trying to divide us. So this isn't about misogyny, Joe. And we've covered the threats, but let's go further into that. What Snoop Dogg has done is he's come forward and he explained exactly what he meant. And he stated unequivocally that he is A, nonviolent, and B, not even interested in going after a 70-year-old woman. What would he look like doing such a thing? His figure of speech, which is a black vernacular, and we have our own type of talk, just like you do when you guys use your code words, but you play dumb about it. We have ours too. And so what you perceive as a threat was not. What Snoop Dogg was referring to was that we're coming for all of your social media. In other words, your sponsors, whenever you get on TV, will boycott the stations, will boycott the station you work at. We'll do those type of things coming after you. But again, white media, namely the white males who run it in particular, always try to change the narrative into something ill-conceived in what they think about, not what we do. That's a problem. But here at Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source, we're going to let you know that that is not going to happen here. We're going to tell you the truth here. We're going to give you the details as well as we know them. But we're not going to be going along with the status quo. So, on that note, we're going to end this off with a little bit of something that Susan Rice, the Democratic ambassador to the UN, and who worked for President Barack Obama. She has a few choice words to say, and so do I. So, without further ado, let's listen in on that.
editorial about this. The Washington Post doesn't write an editorial about this. The Wall Street Journal doesn't write an editorial about this. Nobody talks about this. I will say one person who did, Susan Rice.
Oh, she said, yeah.
I cannot.
She
said, I'll say part of it. She said,
yeah. Yep.
back the blame off.
Yep.
And by the way, that's one person who stood up for a black female journalist who, like, we can't even begin to imagine how hard.
All right, family, I'm going to end this off here, but you guys heard how excited he got when he talked about Susan Rice. You know, Susan Rice to be a government official and then threatening the life of, or threatening rather, a foundational black American is so disgusting and disgraceful. Susan Rice should be investigated and fired. She should be investigated and fired for thinking that you as a black woman getting into a role such as what you have, that you have that kind of power to do this to another black person is so disgusting that we wouldn't care or fight for you. It's horrible that you fixed your mouth to even put that in a tweet. Furthermore, putting it in a tweet, you just really crossed the line, because what you're saying is that our First Amendment rights, our constitutional rights, are null and void. And again, you should be investigated, sued, and you should be fired for doing such a thing. I'm offended, highly offended, for you doing something like that. And we need to call you on that. Society should be calling you on that. You're not above the law. You sounded militant. To be militant, one must have a military. Let's make this clear. To be militant, one must have a military. When you say that black people are militant, that is a lie, because we don't have a military. But Susan Rice, you have the backing of a military, so therefore you are being very militant to us black people, and that is a problem. All right, family. Well, you heard the disgraceful remarks of Susan Rice, and that's why she needs to also be hashtag canceled. So we have hashtag cancel Gayle King, hashtag cancel Oprah Winfrey, and hashtag cancel Susan Rice. The display Susan Rice put on for all of us black people to see was a disgrace, and that's the type of behavior that black people no longer should be accepting from other black people. When they throw us under the bus, when they do not support us, and when they threaten us, that is unacceptable, and we should not accept that. This is Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.